Good morning, students. Very good morning. Last class we discussed introduction of the MySQL and insert command, how to insert a row onto the database table. Today we discuss the complete syntax of select statement or select command. Next, coming to select command with group by class or aggregate columns. See, observe here, I am writing here group by class and aggregate columns. So when we are using group by column, when you are using group by class, we use aggregate columns. Otherwise, when we are using aggregate columns, we use group by or having clauses. See, what is the correlation between group by and aggregate functions? These are called as aggregate columns or aggregate functions. Why I am calling it, all these are called as aggregate functions? So here aggregate functions are sum. Here aggregate functions are sum, AVG, average, sum, average, min, max, maximum, minimum, maximum, count of star, count of star. These are all called as aggregate columns. See, observe here, aggregate columns or aggregate functions. Why I am calling these are called as aggregate functions? These are calculated columns. Okay, sum of calculate group of values, set of values. I calculate take sum of values, calculate one single, take more than one inputs and return one output. That is sum function. Like that here average, AVG. So all these are having function. That's why I use here brackets. Okay, functions are methods. So that's why these 5 functions are called as aggregate functions or aggregate columns. We use aggregate columns in our select command. Understood my point? So when we use these columns in select command, we use group by or having clauses. So how to achieve group by having? By using this aggregate columns. I explain one example by using this table. See, consider this table, employee table. This table having employee numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Employee name Raju, Rani, Rajesh, Suresh, Mukesh, and the salary. 2 5,000 columns are there. 2 6,000 columns are there. 1 7,000 column is there. And department number 2 10 departments employees are there. 2 20 departments are there. 1 30 department is there. So when we apply grouping for this tabular data by using select command, how we apply the select command? I write here one example, select, okay, select sum of salary, average of salary, minimum of salary, maximum of salary, count of star. I write here department number, department number, sum of sal, AVG of sal, sum of sal, AVG of sal, minimum of sal, min of sal, max of sal, comma, count of star. Right here, select department number, sum of sal, AVG of sal, min of sal, maximum of sal, count of star. Why I am taking here sal every time here? So I count here for this department number 10, for this department number. Here 2 departments are there. 220 departments are there. 2 employees are there. 130th department is there. I divide this entire table. The entire table is calling it as one single unit. Up to now we consider as this table as a single unit. Now we divide this entire single table into number of parts by using this group by column. See how I divide this single unit table by using this grouping column, by using department number. Why I am choosing here department number? Yes, I choose here I calculate sum of cell, AVG of cell, min of cell, max of cell, count of star. Okay, by using this department number. So various departments having, so 10th department having 2 employees. Those 2 employees having different salaries. I count a sum of those 2 employees' salary. Okay, understood my point. Okay, 10th department salary. Here I calculate 10th department salary, employee salary, average. I calculated here. 10th department salary, minimum salary. Those who are having minimum salary in 10th department. Maximum salary in 10th department. Count how many employees are there in 10th department. Like that, I calculate for these calculated values for 20th department also. So I calculate, okay, 10th department. For that 10th department, I calculate sum of salary, average salary, min of salary, maximum salary, count of star. Like that I calculate, that is one part. So I grouping this entire table into department number wise. Here how many departments are there? Total 3 departments are there. 10, 20, 30. So I divide this entire table, single unit table, by using this grouping column, 3 parts. One is department number 10, one is department number 20, one is department number 30. Then I calculate department wise. That is department 10. I calculate sum of salary, average salary, minimum of salary, maximum of salary, and count of star. Okay. So department wise divide this table into 3 parts. 10, 20, 30. After that I calculate for each department I calculate all these aggregate functions or aggregate columns. So aggregate columns means sum of, average of, minimum of, maximum of, and finally count of star. All these aggregate columns are presented in Excel sheet. You know very well MS Excel. All these functions are we calculated here by using this grouping column. So how to achieve this grouping column? By using group by class in select statement. I write here select department number. So I group according to department number. I display department number, sum of cell, average cell, minimum of cell, maximum of cell, count of star. See, observe here, each and every column, this one is one column, this one is one column, this one is one column. All the columns having between commas. Next, here I write here group by. Here I write group by. So, how to calculate all these columns? By using group by. The entire table, single table divided into grouping basing on department number column. So that's why I write here department number column. So I divide this entire single unit table. Every time select statement, consider our table, entire table, consider as a single unit, all the columns and all the rows. But when I am using this class, that is group by class. The entire single unit table can be divided into number of parts, depends on this column. So here I use group by grouping column. Here grouping column is department number. So that's why, so how many different departments are there in our table? 3 different departments, 10, 20, 30. That's why the entire single table can be divided into 3 parts. Then I calculate all these values. So this is the concept of grouping column. So group by is called as, okay, it calculates aggregate values, aggregate calculations. Aggregation means calculation, takes one or more inputs and calculate and apply some operation. Which operation? Sum means total. Minimum, selecting one of the minimum. Maximum, maximum out of all the objects. Average, sum of all elements by number of elements. That is average. Counting, count the number of objects in that part. So in this way we calculate aggregate columns by using group by and aggregate function. The final output of this table is, output of this query is, see, this one is one example. This one is one example for grouping our tabular data. Okay, see, output of this, when I am executing this statement, this one is considered a single statement up to select it to department number. So first it displays all these columns. So it displays department number. Next, sum of cell. Here I am giving within brackets cell. So it takes argument as a input as a cell. For calculating sum, it takes input salary. For calculating average, it takes salary value. For department number 10, for department number 20, for department number 30. Understood my point? See, sum of cell, ABC of cell, minimum of cell, maximum of cell, and finally count of star. And finally count of star. See, so this is the output it displayed in our tabular data. Okay, so it displays department number, sum of salary, average of salary, minimum of salary, maximum of salary, count of star. All these what we have wrote in this selector. After these are all called as columns. Those columns displayed in our output or query result. This one is one query. Our requirement is this entire single table can be divided into different parts basing on department number and display the final output with the aggregation of some calculated values here. So by using aggregate columns or aggregate functions are sum of salary, ABC of salary, sum, ABC, max, min, count. All these are functions. Why I am calling here functions? All these are having parentheses or brackets. Within that brackets we specify some input or argument. Okay, see, I specify a salary. See, first department number. So divide this entire table into department number wise. See, observe this department table, everyone. This department table having different values, 10, 20, 10, 20, 30. So how many distinct different departments are there in that our table? 3. That is, one is 10, one is 20, one is 30. That's why we divide this entire table into 3 parts. So here we apply different or distinct department number for our table. See, observe here, 10th department, 20th department, 30th department. Then we calculate for 10th department all these values. For 20th department, all these values we calculate. For 30th department, we calculate all these values. Okay. So for 10th department, see this 10th department. So 10th department elements are. Then we calculate sum of salary. See 10th department 5,000. One more 10th department 7,000. 5,000 and 7,000. 10th department salary. We take sum of salary. So summation of 5,000 and 7,000. Total how much? 12,000. 5 plus 7, 12,000. See, right here 12,000. Observe my output. Next, coming to average of salary. How to calculate average salary for 10th department? I calculate here only for 10th department. Next I calculate 20th department. Next I calculate 30th department. In this way, I calculate for each department wise. So entire table can be divided into department wise. This single table can be divided into basing on department wise. For each department I calculate all these calculated or aggregated columns. See, so 12,000 average. Then 5,000 plus 7,000 by 2. Average means 5,000 plus 7,000, 12,000 by 2. Why I calculate divide with 2? Total number of employees for 10th department is 2. That's why 12,000 by 2, 6,000. Okay. Next, coming to minimum of sal. So 5,000, 7,000. Out of all these two values, which one is minimum? 5,000 is minimum. Okay, out of all these two values, which one is the maximum? 7,000. That's why it displays 7,000. Okay, next, count of star. How many values are there in 10th department? Two salaries. One is 5,000, one is 7,000. That's why it displays count of star means 2. Total number of employees 2. Next, coming to 20th department. Up to now I calculate only 10th department. So I calculate all these values for 10th department. Like that I calculate for 20th department and 30th department also. In this way I calculate for 10th department, 20th department and 30th department. The entire table can be calculated by using 3 different department number wise. So this table can be divided into department by. Divided means here grouping. I calculate here aggregate values. See, coming to 20th department. These two are 20th department. So for 20th department 6,000. See, observe here 6,000 and 5,000. 20th department values. See, first 20th department. I calculate department number for 20th. Okay. So sum of sal. Sum of sal means 6,000 plus 5,000. Total how much? 6,000 plus 5,000. 11,000. Okay. After that, after 11,000, next calculate average of salary. So 11,000 plus divided by 2. Divided by 2. Why here 2 employees are there? That's why I divide with 2. Average. So 5,000 plus 6,000 by 2. 5,500. See, this one is 5,500. Okay. Next, coming to minimum of sal. Out of all these two values, which one is minimum? 5,000. Here inputs are 5,000 and 6,000. That's why, which one is minimum? 5,000. Which one is maximum? 6,000. I calculate here 6,000. Then I calculate total number of employees in that department number 20. So how many employees are there? 1 and 2. Only 2 employees for department number 20. That's why here I write here 2 members. Okay. Coming to next, third one, 30th department. I calculate here 30th department. Okay, for this 30th department, only 1 employee is there. Only 1 employee is there. Only 1 value is there. Then no problem. We calculate for all these values for single input. Okay, this one is considered as 1 part. Okay, 6,000. Okay, see 30th department. So 30th department having only one value, only one employee in this 30th department. So that's why sum of sal only 6,000. That's why your summation is 6,000. Average 6,000 by 1, that is 6,000. Next, minimum of sal, only one employee is there. That is the minimum, that is the maximum. That's why your minimum value is 6,000. Maximum, here only one value is there. That is the minimum, that is the same value is acting as a minimum, same value is acting as a maximum. So that's why we are taking it as maximum value is 6,000. How many number of employees are there? For the department number 30, only one employee. That's why counting here 1. So this is the output we display in our for this query. Understood my point? So here I calculate, here I divide the entire table by using grouping, group by. So when we use this grouping, when we require, when we divide, okay, the entire table into number of parts, then we use group by class in select statement. This is one of the important concept in select command. So here I am not applying any having class. Here I am not applying any having class. Up to now we discuss only aggregate columns and group by. Next, coming in next example, I explain the concept of having class with the group by. Coming to, I explain the concept of group by with having class. Up to now we discuss only group by and aggregate columns. In this example, I continue the same example for this example. That is group by class with a having class. Okay, up to now I use only group by. This time I added one more class having condition. In the previous example, I not write. Okay, I not wrote this having class. But this time I add this class also. See, I change my example for this having class. Say I write here select department number, sum of sal, AVG of sal, min of sal, maximum of sal, count of star. Okay, next I write here group by. Here I write group by department number having, I write here having class, having condition. I write here some condition. Having, here I write some condition. So I write here, okay, sum of sal is greater than 7,000. Sum of sal is greater than 7,000. This is my example. See, observe this example. So I write here select. So I explain same concept, continue with the same example. Extra I added here having some condition. I write here some condition. First it applies grouping column. Up to now this example is suitable. Next I continue my concept here having sum of sal greater than 5,000. First I calculate department number, sum of sal, AVG of sal, minimum of sal, maximum of sal and count of star. See this example. First I calculate group by department number. So department number 10, department number 20, department number 30. I calculate sum of sal, AVG of sal, min of sal, maximum of sal and count of star. Then apply. This is the output for this grouping column. Then apply one condition. So here I use here having some condition. Why I am not applying here where class? Why I choose here having class? See, that is the difference between where class and having class. This is very important difference an example in our examination point of view, in our practical point of view. So they are asking what is the difference between where class and having class. When we use where class and when we use having class. So when we choose the entire table as a single column, okay, if any condition is required, then we go for where class. So where class is used when we consider the entire table by using select command. Okay, we go for where class. So without grouping, when we are not applying any grouping, okay, we filter data. We retrieve data from the table by using select command without grouping column. Then we go for where class. So where class is applied without grouping. We apply some condition. Without grouping, we apply some condition. We go for where class. So in that where class is applied the entire table's data considered as a single unit. In that single unit's data, it applies some condition. In that situation, we go for where class. But coming to our example, having class is also having some condition. So why I am writing here without where class? I choose here having class. Here we group the entire single unit data basing on department number column. Okay, the entire single unit data can be divided into 10th department, 20th department, 30th department. That's why grouping our entire data table into 3 parts like the 10, 20, 30. In that grouping data, this is calling it as grouping data. We apply any condition. We not used where class. We go for having class. So for complete table, single unit data, we go for any condition. We require any condition. Then we go for where class. Here we apply where class. But here, if any condition is required, here this one is grouping data. Grouping data or aggregation of data. When we apply any aggregation of data or grouping data, then any requirement of any condition is required, then we go for having class. Understood my point? That is the difference between grouping and having and where class. So where class used the entire table's data, applied on the entire table's data. On grouping data we use having. So both are having conditions, some condition, where condition, simple condition or complex condition. Like that here also having also, same like that where it is also having simple conditions or complex condition by using greater than, less than or equal to, double equal to and so on. Or otherwise we use and or not logical operators also for complex conditions. We combine 2 or more conditions to form a single condition, that is calling it as complex conditions. So in this example, I write here having class with the condition sum of sal is greater than 7,000. So after applying group by column, here I calculate group by column. Then we apply condition. Here my condition is sum of sal is greater than 7,000. Then we apply sum of salary, we go for sum of salary, calculate. Okay, says we here greater than 7,000. So greater than 7,000. Here only these two rows. One is department number 10 and one is department number 20. Only these 2 rows having sum of salary above 7,000. So only these 2 rows, department number 10 and department number 20. Okay, this doesn't obey this condition. That's why this table only displays this entire tabular data and this entire tabular data. It is not displayed. Department number 30, department number 30th. Okay, it doesn't display the. So the final output of this query, that is having sum of salary 7,000. Why it is not displayed department number 30? Here the department number 30 having sum of salary is less than 7,000. That is equal to 6,000. It is less than 7,000. That's why here I am writing only above 7,000, greater than 7,000. Here this one is greater than 7,000, this one is greater than 7,000. So first we calculate here grouping data for all the departments, for each department 10, 20 and 30. Then we apply. So after grouping, we apply here condition. So having clause is used. After applying grouping column, then we require any condition. Then we go for having. Otherwise, we not require having clause. Suppose in the previous example, I not use here having clause. Why? Only in that example, I calculate only grouping data. I not apply any condition on that grouping data. In this example, I use one condition on that grouping data. So having clause, when having clause is required, after applying grouping data, okay, we divide the single table into number of parts by using grouping data. Then if any condition is required, we go for having clause. Otherwise, we not required any having clause. So having clause is not, is optional when we go for grouping or group by. So when we use having, when we apply grouping data, after that any requirement is there for that grouping data, any condition is there, then we go for having clause. Up to now this one is optional. So without grouping, we not use having clause. This one is very, very important. Without grouping, we not directly apply having clause. So without applying grouping, group by, we not use any having data. We not use. So we apply group by, after that we use having. So without grouping, we not use having clause. Understood my point? So when we use having clause, if anyone asks, then you apply. So first we apply grouping. Then if any condition is required, then we go for group having. If no such condition is not required on grouping data, we not use grouping. We not use having clause. That is the concept of group by and having. Here only two rows displayed. One is department number 10 and one is department number 20. Okay, understood my point? Next, coming to order by class. Coming to order by class. Already explained this order by class. Select with order by class. Right here, I continue same example. I continue same example for order by class. See here, right here, order by class. Already explained in like class. Order by class is used for arranging the data into ascending order or descending order. I continue same example. With group by, having and order by. My example having group by, order by and having all these in single example. See, select department number, sum of cell, average cell, minimum of cell, maximum of cell, count of star. After that, group by department number. Then I write here having sum of cell is greater than 7,000. Up to now, this one is output. Then I write here order by. Then I write here order by. Okay, order by. Okay, ABC of cell. Order by ABC of cell. I write here average cell. I am taking anything from this, all these columns. Okay, I write here calculated, computed column or aggregated column. So here order by average of salary, basing on average of salary, okay, in ascending order. In ascending order, I write here ascending order basing on average of salary. Up to now, this output is okay. Up to now, this output is okay. Coming to this order by average of salary as ascending order, here when applying having condition sum of salary is greater than 7,000, it displays only two records. One is 10th department, one is 20th department. 30th department is omitted. Why? It is not following this sum of salary is greater than 7,000. Then apply order by average of salary, ascending order. See, this one average of salary. Basing on this column, we arrange the data in ascending order. First it displays, okay, 6,000. After that it displays 5,000. This row having 6,000, this row having 5,500. Then we here ascending order. Ascending order means smallest to biggest. So first it displays this row. Okay, after that display this row. So change this output. I change this output. So first it displays 5,500 and next it displays 6,000. So I change according to this average salary of ascending order 5,500, 6,000. So basing on this, all these columns are also changed. This one is 11,000. This one is 12,000. This one is 20th department. This one is 10th department. So these are same. That's why we not change. 5,000, 5,000. Here 2, no change. Here 6,000. This one is 7,000. So coming to our example, order by, I arrange the data after applying grouping and having, then we arrange the order by class. So this is the order of the priority. First we take all these columns, after that apply grouping, after that apply having, after that apply order by. Arrange the all this data in basing on this average of salary. Understood my point? In this way, we use grouping and having class command. Thank you, student.